is about to begin. We do have, of course, all of our fun 11 o'clock stuff, chat box, and the wheel of audio clips. So there's a bill, Missouri House Bill HB 2061. I would like you to get acquainted with and learn about. And, you know, even everything that's happened, Ken, after October 7th, it's not getting any better. The anti Semitism is just as bad.
No, it's interesting though. You say that like that because you would think that it would have. You would gain more people with sympathy for the Jewish population, which it did. But it also brought out the rats, man. They scurried.
Yep. So what happened was in Jeff City there was a hearing, and the person we're going to talk to next, Michaela Mall, daughter of our friend AJ Mall, testified at that hearing and did a great job. Let's hear that.
Hello, my name is Michaela Mall. This is my father, AJ Mall. I'm 15 years old and I'm a sophomore at Parkway Central High School in Chesterfield. Until 8th grade, I attended a private Jewish school where I was taught to have pride in my Jewish identity. Since attending a public school, I've seen and heard many anti-Semitic situations. On my first day at a public school, I overheard a conversation in which a student informed the teacher that one of his peers told him that he didn't like him because he was a Jew and a kike. A few months later, I had a classmate yelling "F Israel" and other anti-Zionist things at me and an Israeli student in the middle of class. As far as I know, the teacher did not report this. Then that same student went and told my friends about how I was a crazy Zio for over a year after that. I've had several classes with a student that messaged a peer of mine, "I hope you die a worthless death," because he supported Israel. Some students were messaging in the Jewish Student Union group chat about their own experiences with anti-Semitism. I'd like to read you a message that was sent by a Parkway School student to one of my peers. Hitler was right when he wanted to exterminate this impure race. You are worse than the rapists of children, the murderers of black people, the thieves of the country, and the corrupt politicians. The worst human beings ever. You know what, really? The whole world hates you. Even the Americans, who are the stupidest group of people, realize that you are murderers. Anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism are essentially the same. There are 120 Christian states and about 50 Muslim states. So why is everybody so focused on the only Jewish state? How can Israel be accused of genocide when Hamas's #1 goal is to kill all non-Muslims? Why does Israel receive so much hate when it's the only democracy and only safe place to be queer in the Middle East? When someone says that they don't hate Jews, only Zionists, it's just a loophole. This bill is necessary to ensure safety and equal education opportunities for all Jewish students. Thank you.
Very good, by the way.
Very, very good. Your poise there is just great. And this bill that we're going to talk about, HB 2061, is sponsored by our friend George Haruza,
Yes.
state representative. So, Michaela, if you don't mind me asking, what year are you in high school?
I'm a sophomore.
Wow. So you're young. When people say those words, right, they had to learn them from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think these kids learn these words, kike and, Jew and stuff like that?
My guess would probably be misinformation spread over social media. If not, maybe their parents.
That's where I'd like to start with the parents.
Yeah, I think it starts with the parents, and but social media, man, I'll tell you, you have some parents that may not even agree with that, but then they let them loose on social media, and what happens? They learn it from there.
So, I'm sorry. First of all, I'd like to say I'm sorry that you have to hear these things. You have to endure these, words and words that a girl your age should never even hear in any setting, much less against your religion and stuff. So tell me the difference between your private Jewish school and public school when it comes to just being Jewish.
Well, at my private Jewish school, I had never experienced anti-Semitism at all. I was taught what to do if I'd gone to a public school after, and to make sure that I stay proud of my Jewish identity, to not be afraid to wear my Jewish star necklace. And then when I switched, I was just so surprised by all of the anti-Semitism I was hearing. I did not expect it to be that bad.
Yeah, this Parkway West, is that what it is?
Parkway Central.
Parkway Central. If you were to ask parents of that school, do you know this is happening? Do you know that kids are saying Jew and kike in school? Do you know that? No, not my kids. right? That's what they probably would say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that the feeling you get?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Well,
So go ahead, Kenny.
No, I was just going to say the word Zionist. Okay, I'm a Zionist, okay? But I think it sounds to me, Vic, like they've bastardized that word.
They have. Well,
and,
taking
and,
it away.
they've demonized it because they say Zio. Is that what you? Because
Yeah.
I heard you say. Okay, here I just pulled this up, Vic.
Mm.
A Zionist is a person who supports Zionism, which is a political national movement that advocates for the right of the Jewish people to self-determination in their historic homeland, commonly understood as the land of Israel. Zionism holds the Jews, like other people, have the right to a sovereign nation state. What's wrong with that?
Right.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of misinformation about what Zionism really is. To me, all it means is that I believe that Israel has a right to exist
Yeah.
and the Jewish people have a right to have their own state. And I feel like that's really important, especially with all of the anti Semitism that we do experience. I feel that we should have our own country where we're safe to be in.
Absolutely. And one would think, right? One with a heart would think that after October 7th, people would be more sympathetic to the Jewish state, to Israel being surrounded by enemies and being the size of a postage stamp. Your dad, AJ, is a good friend of ours, this station and this show. He is, he's a great guy, smart guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like your dad.
Yeah.
We love him. We love your dad. I wish we caught him so we could have got a pastrami sandwich at the deli. He was,
that.
then he got rid of the deli. I was hoping for that. So, as we wrap this up, what message do you have for people? I'm trying to figure who would be here. Parents of these kids who say Jew and kike and all that stuff. What message would you have for them that they would hear right now and pass along to their little racist children?
I think just make sure that your children are not getting fed misinformation. Ask them to do their own research or help them with it, because there's a lot of misinformation, especially what happened on October 7th. I had someone tell me, I was like, do you know what happened on October 7th? They said that it was Hamas bombing an evil Israeli governmental building.
No.
No, it was the murder of like 1,200 Israelis at a music festival. It's insane. So I think just make sure your children are getting correct information and tell them don't hate people just for having different opinions than you.
And you understand that these people that are saying these things are just misinformed. Not only that, but they're bad people. They're not saying the things that they need to be saying. And no matter where they're getting the information, is if they allow that to be the actual narrative, they're wrong. You know that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If this were a black issue, you'd have people on your side lining up to help you. The media would be, hey, Michaela, come on, let's talk about your problem.
As well they should.
Right, as well they should. But for some reason, when it's a Jewish kid, they don't seem to come running for information from you, do they?
Yeah, I think there's a huge double standard for Jews. I feel like most communities, if something were to happen like that, they would get a lot of support, but for Jewish people, we just don't get the same support.
Well, you've gotten a lot of support from other Christians, though, correct? I mean, like TPUSA, for example, they're Zionist. They're great friends to the Jewish people.
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of people that are supporting us. You just
Good.
expect it to be more.
You would, yeah.
All right. So let's end the way we started. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to hear these words. I'm sorry that you must get distracted from your schoolwork with that in your head, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks for being brave. Thanks for, what you said there in Jefferson City. Did you get any feedback since you said that?
Oh, I was pretty surprised. I had a lot of people at school come up and tell me that they thought I did a great job and they were proud of me for using my voice.
Yeah.
Good.
You have a lot of friends at Parkway Central?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask her about that, Vic, because we have daughters, and it hasn't been that long ago where they would be sitting here where you are and say, I would say, well, hey, you got any shout outs you want to some of your friends?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead.
If any of them are listening, hi Orly Roth, I love you. Samiha, Christina, Sakura, Rachel, hi.
Keep going. There you go. You got anybody else?
Oh, hi mom.
What about your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, hi dad.
God.
Vote for AJ Mall for city council.
There you go.
What's a guy got to do to get a shout out from his daughter?
So what are your goals in life? Do you have any? Do you aspire to do something in particular as you get older?
Well, I am very much into musical theater, but I recently have been
Nice.
thinking about double majoring in political science.
Okay.
What plays have you been in?
Oh, a lot. I was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That was a fun one.
I was in Into the Woods.
Oh, I love Into
He's
the Woods.
big in theater.
I got to do it twice. You know, I'm a radio guy, so could you be the narrator? Okay, fine.
Okay.
Well, the first time I was in it, I was just the narrator. Second time, I was a narrator and the mysterious man, right? That's how you really do it.
Yeah.
and I had a good time doing that. My daughter just auditioned last night for some companies doing Sweeney Todd for Mrs. Lovett, but I think she's too young for Mrs. Lovett.
Oh, really?
But she sang the song from Into the Woods about it justifies the beans. You know that song? What else have you been in? What else have you done?
I was in a production of Shrek Jr.
Ah,
Nice.
how was that?
That was so much fun. I was Shrek.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
Wow, lead role.
Yeah.
That works. Anything at the high school yet?
Yeah, I was just in Mamma Mia. I was part of the ensemble. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that's great. And a lot of kids still going to see this stuff?
Yeah.
My kids went to Parkway South, and when they would do a musical, they were pretty smart because they would do Oliver.
Yeah.
Right? So Oliver, you have your adult characters, and then you have your kids, the orphans in the beginning. Smart, because all the orphans, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, all come, so you fill up the theater. You know?
Right.
But do you have an improv team at Parkway Central?
I think we have an improv club. I think so.
You seem like you would actually thrive there.
I do too.
I did take an improv class last year.
There you
Oh,
go.
really? Okay. We
Start a
can
group.
sense this young lady.
There was a quad one time. I thought that was at Parkway Central because my son was in Parkway South's Five Finger Discount, they call it, and it wasn't a play written by him, but it was just these kids doing improv, and the place was packed every time they did it, like every third or fourth Friday. So my son plays piano, and he can give him a topic or something, he can play something related to it, right? So, because I used to play a game with him, I said, okay, Chris, John met Mary. Man, and real nice. And then they got married. Dun, 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 dun. But then Mary got cancer. Dun, dun, minor chords, you know? So he started this thing at the Improv called Impriano, where they'd wheel out the piano, and he'd sit at the piano, and whatever, the kids would just do their scenes, their improv scenes, and he would watch it and make music appropriate for what was going on, right? So these two kids start a sword fight, and he does the Mortal Kombat music. I mean, he tore the roof off the place. They went crazy. The kids went crazy.
That's awesome.
So think about improv. It's a lot of fun, too. Keep going with your musical theater. I love musical theater. I love it.
And regarding the Senate bill that you were advocating for and all the stuff that's going on right now, you might be thrust into politics and not even realize that. I mean, you said you now aspire to. Was this something that you started to realize after this all came about?
Well, I was a bit involved in politics around fourth grade. I went.
With her dad, how could you not?
Yeah,
though?
Oh,
my
that's
dad
true, that's
took
true,
me. My
right.
dad took me to Jefferson City to lobby and meet some representatives, and that was lots of fun. But
Okay.
House Bill 2061, that was my first time testifying.
And
All
the
right.
bill aims to define and prohibit anti-Semitic discrimination in public K-12 schools and even public colleges and universities. Because anti-Semitic discrimination, there's no difference between just any sort of discrimination and you know, anti-Zionist, anti-Jewish discrimination. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's just, you know, people look different and sound different. Okay, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Your father's a smart guy, handsome guy, good
He
guy.
has a smart daughter too.
He's got a smart daughter. That stuff rolls downhill. Michaela, thanks for coming in. Update us on this, would you?
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
it happens.
of course.
And we'll have you in again, okay? Not your dad, though, just you. No, I'm just kidding. We thought he might have come in, too, because we really like him. Thanks, Michaela. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Michaela.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Michaela Mall.